Hi, my name is Laura Zanetti, and my speech topic for today is softball. I chose to do softball because I played it in high school and I really loved the sport and the game. Would you believe me if I told you the game of softball was inspired by a game of football? Today I'm going to talk about the history of softball and the strategies that are used in the game. In particular, I will discuss how the game of softball evolved and the strategies behind defense and offense. First, I would like to get you familiar with a little background knowledge of softball and how it all started. I wasn't lying to you when I told you the game of softball was inspired by a football game. It was in 1887 on Thanksgiving Day when a group of Harvard and Yale alumnus came together to listen to the results of the championship game between Yale and Harvard on the radio. The radio had announced that Yale had won, and when a Yale fan heard of the result, out of excitement, he playfully threw a boxing glove at one of the Harvard supporters. The Harvard man retaliated by swatting the boxing glove with a broomstick back to the Yale fan. One of the bystanders and inventors named Jonathan Hancock looked at the group of men and said, "Let's play ball." The men did just that. They continued to use the boxing glove and broomstick until Hancock went home and designed a ball and bat for the game. Hancock implemented 19 modifications from the game of baseball to create this new game. The most important modification he made was the size of the ball and the bat. He made the ball significantly bigger than a baseball and the bat significantly smaller. The ball he invented was 16 inches, and the ball that is used in today's women's fast pitch is 10 to 12 inches. The rules of these games are constantly changing, but one rule that has remained is the fact that there are 9 players on the field: a pitcher, catcher, first baseman, second baseman, shortstop, third baseman, left field, center field, and right field. Now that you know a little bit about the history of softball, let's be like the home team and head straight on to defense. Defense in softball is very strategic, starting with the pitcher. The coaches of the team signal to the pitcher what type of pitch he should throw. A few types of pitches are a fastball, a drop ball, and a curveball. On defense, it is very important the pitcher hits their spots, because depending on the type of pitch they throw, the outfield and infield will adjust. For example, if the pitcher throws a fastball to the outside corner of the plate to a right-handed batter, the outfielders and infielders will move to the right, because most likely the ball will be hit by the end of the bat, causing it to go towards the right side of the field. It is very important that the infield knows where the play is at all times. The goal is to get the lead runner out so they do not score. So if there is a runner on first and second, the play would be at third. These are just some of the many strategies used on defense. Now that we got defense down, let's talk a little bit about offense. There are 9 people placed in the batting order, and they are all very important. Typically, the leadoff batter should have a consistent batting average and should also be very fast. The goal is for the leadoff runners to make contact and get on base. The second batter should also be pretty consistent, because their goal is to move the leadoff batter over to second base. The third batter, also known as the cleanup batter, typically has the strongest bat on the team. Their name says it all. Their goal is to hit all of the runners to home plate. A term called small ball is very important on offense. Oftentimes, people think the objective of being a good batter is to hit the ball over the fence as many times as you can. Although that would be nice, that is nearly impossible. Small ball consists of hits called bunts and slaps. There are 2 types of bunts. One is called bunting for a hit, and the other is called a sacrifice bunt. Bunting is when you turn your bat towards the pitcher and just slightly make contact with the ball, tapping it on the ground in fair territory, right in front of the home plate. Typically, someone who is bunting for a hit is fast, and their goal is to get on base. A sacrifice bunt is when you present you're going to bunt, giving it away to the infield, knowing you will most likely get out. The goal of a sacrifice bunt is to move the runners who are on base to the next base, so the following batter has a better chance of hitting them home. A slap is when you stand all the way back in the batter's box and you run up and slap the ball with the bat. Oftentimes the infield will move up thinking you will bunt, but in result you hit the ball right past them because they are too close. In closing, you can see there is much more behind the game of softball that many spectators oversee. When I began, I mentioned a silly fact about how the game was inspired by a boxing glove and a broomstick. Little did Jonathan Hancock know that all these insanely complex strategies would be added to this game, making it one of the most popular competitions in the world. Thank you for your time.